Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we've got the latest on that breaking news. A major dam destroyed near the front lines of Ukraine. Ukraine accusing Russian forces of causing the explosion. Officials now warning of, quote, an ecological disaster. We're going to tell you what we know right now. And a broadcast exclusive with the Navy SEAL commander-in-charge when Kyle Mullen died during Hell Week training. We're going to have those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
Get ready, Dave Chappelle fans. He's coming to the Alamo City. Tickets for the stand-up comic show are now on sale. The show is Wednesday, July 12th, 7:30 over at the AT&T Center. We've got a link where you can get your tickets. Just look for this article on ksat.com. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday morning. Right now, taking a look outside with TransGuide, and our problems continue there. 10 and 1604 on the northwest side. We've been tracking this for the better part of 30 minutes or longer. We'll get an update from Stephen Cavazos coming up and your top stories from overnight. Now at 6, San Antonio police investigating another shooting overnight. 2 people recovering from their injuries. Plus,
hopefully they find them sooner than later, but we're gonna exhaust everything we can before we pack up.
Police also on high alert on the east side after a few suspects shoot at officers. Our Sarah Costa is standing by with the very latest, also new this morning.
The special counsel's investigation into former President Trump appears to be winding down. This as the GOP presidential primary is heating up and expanding later today. I'm Lindsay Watts in Washington, and I'll have those details straight ahead.
And it is a roll the windows down kind of morning here in South Central Texas. A gorgeous sunrise out there as you wake up on this Tuesday morning. You're watching GMSA.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. Time to rise and shine. It is Tuesday, June 6th.
Thank you for joining us. And if you do have time, step outside really quick. It really is pretty out there. And also right now it's 67 degrees, so it's much nicer than it'll be later this afternoon.
Without a doubt, it feels fantastic this morning. And Mike Osterhage is here to share more on that.
You know, didn't think about that, but it kind of rolled down the windows because a lot of times in the morning we have the much higher humidity. And sometimes, you know, it is like that steam bath when you walk outside. But yeah, this morning is really nice out there and good looking as well. A couple of high clouds off in the distance. Sun's going to be coming up in about half an hour or so. We do have a hint of fog though. Now, even though the humidity is not really pushing back when you walk outside, but relative to the temperature, it is fairly high. And that's why 7 miles visibility, Port Say, Stinson, Pleasanton. Gonzales has dropped down a little bit more. So we're starting to see some of these thicker patches here and there. LaGrange at 4 miles and then a thicker patch just to the west of Uvalde. So as we get in towards sunrise and right after that, we'll start to see some of that thicker fog develop. Mold sky high yesterday, almost 12,000. Pigweed was on the low side. That should be going down somewhat when the updated count comes out in about an hour and a half or so. And temperatures are going to be warming up very quickly this morning. A lot of sunshine. Then once we get in toward noon, we'll see a couple of those clouds start to pop up here and there, mid 80s at noon. And we'll also start to see the small rain chance move into the picture once we get in toward the early afternoon hours and later on today, kind of like yesterday, where some of those showers popped up here and there. 88 for a high temperature, well below normal by a good 4 degrees. So we'll take that and call it a 30% chance for a few showers and thunderstorms. So once again, most of us won't see rain, but if you do, could have a decent downpour, could have even some pea-sized hail, which would be a possibility. That was the situation yesterday. What happens after today? Any more rain chances? Things going to heat up? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen. Boy, just a mess, right?
Yeah, you know what I was going to say? It feels pretty outside, but it doesn't look so pretty over here, Mike. 10 west at Loop 1604. Let's now get a wide look at TransGuide. We have been watching this area for a little while now. Remember, this is a major crash reported by TxDOT. You see that line of road flares out there along with flashing lights. First responders have been on the scene for a little while, and you can see they are still out there, and traffic is getting busier minute by minute as we get closer to that morning rush hour. No word yet on the extent of how many vehicles were involved or how many injuries were, the extent of any injuries, I should say, but we are watching it closely, and I'm waiting for some information from San Antonio Police. So when we get that, we'll update you on that. But we can take you to the map, and you see a little bit of, actually a lot of green out there. Earlier, we saw a little bit of congestion, I should say, along I-10 eastbound at Loop 1604. Now things look fine, but hopefully we'll see this clear up pretty soon. I do have to mention that we do have a few other issues popping up over here. Stalls seem to be the trending issue. I-10 eastbound at Wurzbach Road, we have this stall that was reported a little while ago. It's not causing any issues for traffic, but remember those eastbound lanes tend to get pretty busy around this hour. So so we'll likely see some slowdowns. Got to take a drive now over here to I-10 westbound at Geaver Street, where we do have another stalled vehicle reported. So again, check those vehicles before you get out on the roadway, and if you see any emergency lights or flashing lights, make sure to move over or slow down. As we give you a wide view of the metropolitan area, thankfully it's still pretty quiet, but we're going to start to see a few more slowdowns. Check out State Highway 151 eastbound. You see a little bit of yellow building up over on the far west side, but none of it seems to be causing any issues in terms of congestion on our travel times. Let's get a look here really quick. 37 northbound, still pretty pleasant from Pleasanton with 29 minutes at this hour. It's about half an hour along US 90 eastbound if you're traveling in from Castroville. And for our friends down in Lionel, your arrival should be about 17 minutes along 35 northbound. But back here, this has been the big problem spot of the morning. We've been hoping we'll see it clear up soon, so I'll watch it closely and I'll have another update coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Mark.
Thank you, sir. New this morning, San Antonio police say a single bullet has injured 2 people. 2 men were shot in their legs overnight, and now police are trying to find the shooter. Katrina Weber is live at Public Safety Headquarters. Katrina, do they have any leads?
Well, police do know that the shooter is a man, but they have not shared a description with us. Now, it's possible that this shooting may have happened close to home for him. Police were called to an apartment complex on the west side of town shortly after midnight. They found those 2 victims, a man in his 30s and another in his 40s, suffering from gunshot wounds in their legs. They told officers they were walking through the complex on Westward Drive, not far from Highway 90 and West Military, when another man popped out of an apartment and confronted them. They say he asked what they were doing, then fired a single shot, hitting both of them in their legs. The victims were taken to a hospital by ambulance and are expected to be okay. Now, they told the police that they were on their way to the apartment of a friend to check on that friend at the time when the shooting happened. But of course, they ended up needing help themselves. Police did search for the shooter who ran away but did not find that person. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. Developing now, San Antonio police are searching for an armed, dangerous suspect who shot at officers last night on the city's east side. That shooting happened near Dawson and Geavers on the east side. Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio with the very latest. And Sarah, we understand police have other suspects in custody.
Yes, that's right, Steph. We just got more information last night on this shooting after we first aired it on the Night Beat. 2 of the 3 suspects are in custody. An officer at the scene told our photographer that they had not arrested the 3rd suspect. Officers say they started following the suspects after seeing them shoot toward a building before shooting at police. SAPD says the officers did not fire back. San Antonio police are searching for a 3rd suspect after detaining 2 following the chase by officers who were not in uniform when they were shot at by those suspects. Those officers came across a vehicle they believed was suspicious just before 7 p.m. Monday in the area near Dawson's and Geavers on the city's east side. The officers started following that vehicle after witnessing the 3 people in the car shoot toward a building. Police say the suspects then stopped their vehicle and shot toward the officers. So no one was injured, but the unmarked unit was hit by gunfire. East Patrol officers then set up a perimeter and detained 2 of those suspects.
The 3rd suspect is considered to be armed. He is considered to be dangerous. So if anyone sees someone in their yard or some suspicious activity in there, please let us know so we can go and see if we can get this 3rd person.
So police did not give us a description of that 3rd shooter. Police say the suspects face possible charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but more on this investigation is needed. It's unclear if anyone was in the building where the suspects fired their weapons initially. No one has been evacuated, and police say neighbors in the area are safe but are sheltering in place. Mark and Steph?
Well, now to the race for the White House and the expanding number of Republican candidates.
Former Vice President Mike Pence is officially running, and Chris Christie is expected to jump in the race later today. And as ABC's Lindsay Watts reports, lawyers for frontrunner Donald Trump were spotted at the Department of Justice, a sign the special counsel investigation may be wrapping up.
This morning, Mike Pence is taking on his former boss, filing paperwork to declare his 2024 campaign for president.
Most people know me as vice president, as a loyal lieutenant standing beside the president. I'm proud of the record that we created in the Trump-Pence administration. But I was also a governor.
Another former governor will soon join him in the race. New Jersey's Chris Christie, a former ABC News contributor, is set to make his own announcement today in New Hampshire. Both men joining a crowded field that includes Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Nearly every GOP candidate was in Iowa this weekend, though notably absent Republican frontrunner and former President Donald Trump. Trump making his third run for the White House as the investigation into his handling of classified documents appears to be winding down. Trump's attorneys met with officials at the Department of Justice on Monday. Sources say special counsel Jack Smith attended the nearly 2-hour-long meeting as Trump's lawyers tried to make the case that he should not be charged for mishandling hundreds of classified documents.
Get what you wanted? Did you get a meeting with the attorney general? We don't have any comment.
Federal prosecutors suspect Trump illegally retained classified material and may have obstructed justice when the government tried to recover documents from Mar-a-Lago. Trump responding on social media, clearly worried he could be indicted, asking how he could possibly be charged when he, quote, did nothing wrong. Some believe the crowded Republican field may ultimately help Trump win. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu has announced he will not be running and warns that candidates with no path to victory must have the discipline to get out. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, today is the last day you can vote early in the city's runoff races happening this weekend. Polls are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Election Day is Saturday. So that's when we will find out who will represent Districts 1 and 7 right here in San Antonio.
Time now, 6:10, 67 degrees.
Coming up later this morning on GMA, Robin Roberts goes one-on-one with Apple CEO Tim Cook after some big announcements from Apple, including the Vision Pro.
Well, it is the first platform that is about spatial computing. And so what does that mean? It means that you can see, hear, and interact with digital content right in your physical space. And this is a huge idea. And so you can use your apps, and they can be any size that you want.
And that's just part of what they talked about. You're not going to want to miss the interview on GMA beginning at 7.
And after the break, a look at some of the news stories trending now on KSAT.com, including what flyers are saying about their favorite airlines.
Let's look out there with live cam. Starting off nice. It looks pretty out there as well. Things will warm up today and later in the week. We're going to check in with Mike to see just how much when we come back. And welcome back at 6:14. Trending right now on KSAT.com. Airline travel is back and consumer reports are out with which airlines customers like the best. Now, here are some of the highlights. Hawaiian Airlines came out on top for the airline with the top overall satisfaction score for economy travel. In the middle, Delta and Southwest, followed by United, then American, which rated lower for seat comfort. Frontier Airlines was at the bottom of the ratings.
Whatever your air travel issues, it's important to log complaints with the airline while you are still at the airport. If you are stranded, you may be owed meals or a hotel room, or even money if you're bumped from your flight.
And we have more tips. Just look for this story on our website at KSAT.com.
Check this out. A West Texas tornado caught on camera. They'll scroll down here in a second. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey says the tornado formed in a storm produced along the West Texas dry line. You can check that out now on our homepage.
And the prestigious James Beard Award ceremony was held last night in Chicago, and 2 San Antonio area chefs listed as finalists did not win the top spot in the Best Chef Texas category. So that went to the owner of a Houston Thai restaurant. So John Russ of Clementine on the north side, and duo Ernest Cervantes and David Kirkland of Burnt Bean Company in Seguin were in the running. You can find more about these stories on our website at KSAT.com.
It's amazing that you guys were nominated, and that medal will be around your necks one day.
That's right. Still, yes. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
And time now, 6:16. Let's check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Unfortunately, things have not changed over here at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. We have been monitoring this area throughout the morning, and it does look like first responders are still on the scene. As you get a look at TransGuide, you also notice that the roads are a lot busier than what we last saw. So obviously the commute's going to get busier as we get closer to morning rush, but make sure to watch out for those first responders. Remember, this is a crash was reported along the eastbound lanes of I-10 at Loop 1604 on the city's northwest side. We're not seeing any congestion just yet, but I have to keep a very close eye on this area as the commute does get rolling. Another spot I'm keeping a close eye on is right over here on the opposite side of of town. 35 northbound at Church Parkway. We have another crash reported out there. I need to get on the phone with our friends at TransGuide. I did see some flashing lights from some of the still images that we have on TxDOT. So we'll get a few of the conditions out there and we'll keep you updated, but hopefully everyone else is doing okay. Got to take a drive over here where we still have the pavement repairs that have been ongoing. Seems like there's some sort of holdup right now along I-10 westbound. We have that full closure at Santa Clara Road, but also those eastbound lanes. You can see it on the map, 29 miles per hour, not very fast. We know that there's a lot of work taking place along I-10, so just make sure to plan your commute ahead of time if you plan on heading out to Seguin or heading into the Alamo City from Seguin. Giving you a wide look at our map, we're going to start to see a lot more slowdowns. A few stall vehicles reported, so our morning has been off to a very busy start. Hopefully it will slow down, but with morning rush upon us, I don't think that will be the case.
Okay, thank you, Stephen.
Yes, thank you.
Back to that tornado picture, West Texas, the dry line out there, which are usually not efficient storm producers, but if something pops up, they tend to get strong very easily with those things. So,
and go ahead, please.
No, I was going to say, and usually it tries to come in our direction, but this time of year it's staying out there to the west.
And doesn't always make it to San Antonio.
No, and what we're getting today is just going to be with a little bit of disturbances coming in here, swinging around a low to the east of us. So more on that. All right, neat picture. See if you can see it. Man looking at the thunderstorm. Huh? Can you make it out there?
Oh, I think, well, kind of, sort of.
Gotta.
Yeah.
Take it.
So here appears to be the nose.
Okay.
There's the forehead.
Got it.
And the brow and the eyes.
Oh, okay, now I see it.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Very cool looking picture. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, we've got nice looking sunrise on tap, I should say, in store, and just a couple of high clouds that are hanging around here. Not too bad at all. Yesterday we hit 90. We did hit that right before some of those showers and storms moved on in here. Obviously that kind of cooled things down, but notice how there weren't really a lot of just ridiculously high temperatures on the map. 94 in Cotulla, which is not that far from normal. In San Antonio, the normal high temperature is 92, and we only got a couple of 90s showing up on this map as far as highs today. So most everybody's going to be staying in the mid to upper 80s in and around the metropolitan area today. Now, as far as the rain chances, again, these are just because notice how everything's coming in here sort of out of the north. We'll have by early mid-afternoon, a couple of these showers, a couple of thunderstorms popping up around here. Very few and far between, but if you get one of these storms, could have a couple of hefty downpours, some gusty winds, as well as a little bit of pea-sized hail. That was the case yesterday. We did get some reports of some pea-sized hail with some of these storms. And then later on tonight, they are going to be dying down. Like I said, the normal high temperature is 92 degrees. So we're going to be staying below that through the next few days. It does start to heat up. And then, I don't know what's worse on this graphic, looking at the numbers or looking at that red on those columns right there, because it's going to be hot going into the weekend and extending into next week. Low temperatures have been doing okay recently, but we are going to be staying in the mid 70s, it looks like, going in toward the weekend and next week. The reason for it is, first of all, there is a low. We've got the little bit of a low right here to the east of us, and wrapping around that is the reason why we've got these showers popping up here. But that low off to the west, what's been happening over the past couple of months is those things have been moving on in here, giving us those rain chances that we've been seeing every 3, 4, 5 days or so, whatever the progression was in the past few weeks. But what's happening this time around is this high is building on in here, which is kind of the typical summertime feature. And as that thing moves on in here, it's keeping that low out to the west of us, so nothing's really moving all that much. And that's the door is being opened up for this thing to slide on in here, just to sit on top of us. And that's going to be the situation throughout much of even going into next week. And as that moves in here closer and it really pushes down, causes the atmosphere to sink, it compresses a little bit more and really heats up. And that's why it is looking like we are really going to be heating up, especially going into next week. So next couple of days, we still are enjoying the nice little break from what would normally be expected in early June. Upper 80s, low 90s. Better chance of rain today, although still not great, but then almost nil the next couple of days. Mid 90s over the weekend, and we're looking at some even hotter temperatures next week.
Got it. So I guess this weekend maybe you can do lawn work, but maybe in the early morning hours.
Early, yes. Don't wake up the neighbors, but.
True. Thank you, Mike.
You don't want code compliance coming by for a noise violation. 621, 67 degrees.
Some more recognition for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. After the break, why it is still getting some big buzz.
I was stuck. Unresolved depression symptoms were in my way. I needed more from my antidepressant. Vraylar helped give it a lift.
Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. And in Vraylar clinical studies, most saw no substantial impact on weight. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke, report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults, report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Movement dysfunction and restlessness are common side effects. Stomach and sleep issues, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are also common. Side effects may not appear for several weeks.
I didn't have to change my treatment. I just gave it a lift.
Ask about Vraylar and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world!
Black Panther Wakanda Forever is among the most nominated films for the Golden Trailer Awards, honoring the folks who make those 2.5-minute teases.
I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon.
Oppenheimer's also a top nominee, along with Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and Nope. On the TV side, top nominees include Stranger Things Season 4.
Great job! Oh, Rock Kent just said great job!
Ted Lasso's third and final season.
Maybe she killed Bunny.
Do you think that woman stabbed someone 8 times?
And Only Murders in the Building Season 2. Winners will be announced June 29th. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr.'s trial for allegedly raping a woman 10 years ago begins Tuesday in Manhattan Federal Court. Gooding says the encounter was consensual. Law and Order is coming to Canada with a Criminal Intent spin-off set in Toronto for Canadian viewers. It joins previous international spin-offs in France, the UK, and Russia. And Robert Englund, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street films, is 76 Tuesday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Well, it's been since.
He's got to wear the glove?
Yeah.
The razor blades in the interview?
Well, maybe that's his comfort
I guess
place
so.
right now.
Yeah, sure, makes him more approachable, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. 626, 67 degrees.
Let's look at the roads with TransGuide looking over at I-10 at UTSA Boulevard. Slowing down things quite a bit there. We're going to check back with our Stephen Cavazos for the very latest on the situation.
Outside with live cam on your early Tuesday morning, one of the most beautiful mornings we've had around here in quite a while. Not only the sunrise, but the pleasant temperatures out there, hovering right around 67 degrees at San Antonio International. Welcome back at 6:30 on your Tuesday, June 6th.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, step outside right now if you can. It's pretty nice out there. Enjoy it because that heat will return this afternoon.
Absolutely. If this was a class, Mike would probably take us outside for a field trip today.
At least throughout the morning.
Yeah.
For the next
be back by noon?
Hours, or even earlier than that. I was outside yesterday at noon, and if you're in the direct sun, yeah, it does obviously get very hot. And that's the other thing, too. We always talk about temperatures. Those are in the shade. If you get in the direct sun, not only you're just feeling the air temperature, but also the sun is heating you up. So that's why a lot of shade as much as possible. A few high wispy clouds off there in the distance. Otherwise, a lot of clear skies. Good looking sunrise. Yeah, 67, dew points at 64. And the kind of threshold number is usually 60 when you start to feel the humidity. So yes, there is some out there, but you know, a lot of times this time of year we get up in the upper 60s, even low 70s, and a lot of times also we have the higher humidity in the morning. So again, this is really not bad at all. However, humidity is very close to the actual air temperature. Dew points are close to the actual air temperature, so we have relatively high humidity, which is why we are seeing some fog out there. We've got the clear skies, light wind, fog around Gonzales, hints of it elsewhere, and then that batch to the west of Uvalde, LaGrange on top of that. So we'll just be on the lookout for some of this to maybe thicken up in the next hour or so. Mold's on the very high side from yesterday, 11,620. The updated count comes out in about an hour or so. Mostly clear this morning, a couple of clouds, patch or two of fog, pleasant temperatures. Then later on this afternoon, stray storm here or there, like yesterday, probably even fewer and further between. But there could be a decent downpour with that, even a little bit of small hail, a little pea-sized hail. We had some reports of that yesterday, and temperature is going to be up to 88 today, so still below normal this afternoon. Now, the rest of the week, it is going to get hotter, just up to normal readings and slightly above that. A stray shower is possible, not likely at all. Then we go into the weekend, and it is going to be hot, mid-90s, and it's going to stay hot and probably get even hotter going into next week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, it has been a mess all morning. Still the case?
And unfortunately, it is, Mike. Let's get a look here at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. We have been looking at this area for quite a while now. This is over on the northwest side. We have a pretty serious crash that was reported sometime after 5 this morning, and it has still been ongoing, the cleanup process, that is. You can see traffic's moving through there. We're starting to see a lot more folks as the commute really does get moving this morning. But check it out. Now that it's a little bit brighter outside, we are seeing some of the scene out there. It does appear that it may involve some sort of 18-wheeler or big rig. We'll have to get some more information, but I did send an email to San Antonio Police, hoping to get some details. No word yet on any injuries or how long this scene will take to clear up, but we are keeping a very close eye on it. Just not a good area because, again, I-10 eastbound, a lot of people tend to make their way into the downtown area for the commute. So be on the lookout for that if you live or have to drive through that area. Have to take a drive over here. I do actually have a better update. We had a crash was reported along 35 northbound at Schertz Parkway. It looks like this is cleared out. I'm not seeing any more reports from TxDOT, so that's good news. But unfortunately, no good news down over here along I-10 east and westbound. We have some pretty big slowdowns taking place, but remember, there's a lot of road work taking place out there as well. Over near Santa Clara Road along the westbound lanes, you see traffic moving at 17 miles per hour. So anyone heading in from Seguin, you're going to see some slowdowns there. Same goes for the eastbound lanes, but traffic moving around 7 miles per hour just before Zool Road. So yeah, not a good morning. And guess what? We have something else to add to our plate here. We actually have another crash reported down over here at 410 northbound at 35 over on the southwest side. Our morning commute has been off to a very busy start, and it seems that we're starting to see a lot more issues and slowdowns now that more folks are out there. So we'll keep a close eye on things, and hopefully we'll have another update, better update, I should say, coming up a little bit later on. Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, detectives are working to sort out the details of an overnight shooting at an apartment complex. It sent 2 men to the hospital. Katrina Weber is live outside public safety headquarters where that investigation is ongoing. And Katrina, you mentioned earlier that San Antonio police say both men were hit by the same bullet.
Well, that's right. Police tell us that one man was shot in the leg. That bullet then traveled through his leg, hit the other man also in his leg. Both of them were taken to a hospital for treatment. San Antonio police found them when they answered a call about a shooting at an apartment complex on Westward Drive. That's not far from Highway 90 in West Military. Police say the victims told them they were headed to the home of a friend to check on that person shortly after midnight. But the victims say another man came out of an apartment, asked what they were doing there, then shot them. As they were loaded into an ambulance, officers fanned out in the area looking for the shooter who ran off, but they came up empty-handed. The police did not release a detailed description of that shooter, who they still are looking for, but they are continuing that search and continuing to investigate the shooting. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Tensions heat up over migrants being sent away from border cities. This after a second plane with migrants was flown to California earlier this week. Sarah Costa joins us live in studio. And Sarah, we understand now the Bexar County Sheriff's Office has released a new statement about migrant flights out of San Antonio that happened last fall.
Good morning, Mark. Yes, that's right. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office has filed a criminal case with the Bexar County District Attorney's Office in connection with the flight of 49 migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard in September of 2022 by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' administration. In a statement, BCSO said, quote, The charge filed is unlawful restraint, and several accounts were filed, both misdemeanor and felony. At this time, the case is being reviewed by the DA's office. Once an update is available, it'll be provided to the public, end quote. So during the early stages of the investigation, Sheriff Salazar certified that the migrants, who were mostly Venezuelans, were victims of a crime. The migrants told the sheriff's office they were convinced to board the airplanes to the vacation spot in Massachusetts by a woman known only as Perla, who offered them jobs, housing, and education if they went to Massachusetts. Also new this morning, the Department of Homeland Security has released its latest numbers of detentions from the border. DHS says that since the lifting of Title 42, unlawful entries along the southwest border have decreased by more than 70% since May 11th. Homeland Security credits this decrease as a result of stiffer consequences for unlawful entry with the historic expansion of lawful pathways and processes. From May 12th to June 2nd of this year, DHS deported over 38,000 non-citizens under Title VIII. Authorities included single adults and families to more than 80 countries. The announcement by BCSO and DHS comes the same day as reports surfaced that several dozen migrants were transported from El Paso to Sacramento for the second time in 4 days. The California Attorney General blamed DeSantis for the transports. And as CNN's John Lawrence reports, today the Texas Senate reconvenes in a special session, and border security will be a big topic of discussion.
Nearly 36 migrants have arrived in Sacramento since Friday. The first group arrived by private jet from Venezuela and Colombia, according to a nonprofit group.
They're human beings. They're people with families. There's some young people, that are just trying to support or make a life for themselves. There's people who left their children behind.
The second group, carrying 20 migrants, came Monday on this private plane from Texas, which California officials believe was sent by California Governor Ron DeSantis.
His willingness to treat human beings, people, as political pawns. It's wrong, and we are getting to the bottom of it.
DeSantis, who recently announced he's running for president in 2024, says he's been cracking down on illegal immigration in his state.
We have banned sanctuary cities. We're cracking down on human smuggling. We've sent National Guard to the border to help with what's going on down there, and we even sent illegal aliens to beautiful Martha's Vineyard.
California Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted Monday calling DeSantis a, quote, small, pathetic man for his alleged role in sending migrants to the Golden State. Meanwhile, local and state officials say they'll be providing assistance.
The people who are scared, who are vulnerable, who are flown here, they will be well cared for.
For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm John Lawrence.
Check this out. If you've ever been swimming off the Southern California coast, you're not alone. According to the Shark Lab at Cal State University Long Beach, humans and sharks are often around one another in water more often than you may think.
There's that famous scene in Jaws where they scream shark and everybody clears out of the water and onto the beach. Is it time to reassess that notion now that we know that sharks really don't interact that way with humans?
So maybe now it's time to revisit this, because this study demonstrates for the first time that these interactions are happening every single day, and sharks aren't bothering people. They're not biting people.
Next on GMA, ABC's Matt Gutman is diving into what this new research really means.
Eek. Time now 6:39 and 67 degrees for now.
After the break, toxic positivity, the signs you need to avoid to make sure you don't fall into this toxic trap. Oh boy, this next topic has us talking here in the studio. Is your glass half full or half empty?
Well, a recent poll found more than 75% of people said they often ignore their emotions in favor of being happy.
As Sarah Costa reports, avoiding negative emotions or not processing tough life challenges can also be just as harmful.
That is right. Okay, are you either of you guilty of this? Like the meme of the dog that's drinking the coffee and the room's on fire and he's like, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of like a goal. I wish I could be that positive about things, but I don't think we qualify for that one.
I don't know. I definitely process all the emotions. But did you know that masking all those negative emotions with positivity can actually be toxic to your mental health?
It could be worse. Just keep smiling. You'll find a better job.
Seeing the best in every situation may not be the best for your mental health. It's called toxic positivity. It's the belief that no matter how dire a situation is, you must maintain a positive mindset.
It was this idea that we're constantly 100% looking at the bright side, and it can be toxic because we're not giving ourselves space to feel that negative emotion.
An extensive study at Stanford University found that denying negative feelings as a coping mechanism was linked to higher levels of depression. Another study found that people actually felt sadder when others expected them not to feel those negative emotions.
It's not allowing your brain to process those negative emotions.
Here are some signs of toxic positivity. Are you hiding or masking your true feelings? Are you trying to just get on with it by dismissing your emotions? Do you find yourself feeling guilty for feeling what you feel? Or do you find yourself brushing off things that are bothering you with an "it is what it is" mentality? A better approach to dealing with sadness, allowing those emotions to propel you into action.
And that's where active positivity comes in, where you can acknowledge that, but feel that you can be proactive here.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
6:45.
Go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos to see if things are positive on the roadways.
You know, I was thinking about that movie Inside Out, Pixar. Have you ever seen it? Where Joy, the emotions that live inside the little girl's head, Joy doesn't let the little girl feel sadness, but when she feels sadness, she feels a lot better. Yeah.
It's a process.
Well, yeah, it's a process. But you know what, I can tell you this, I am not happy about what we're seeing here on traffic. Although these shots aren't too bad, we have this situation still going on at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. I can guarantee you traffic for folks out there, they're not too happy about it either. It looks like we could be in the clearing stages, though, as we get you to our map. The crash reported at I-10 eastbound at Loop 1604 over on the northwest side. We have a bit of a slowdown also taking place along the eastbound lanes of Loop 1604, but remember, that's probably just active construction. Be on the lookout. We'll watch very closely. Remember, I did send that email to San Antonio Police, so as soon as they update me on what the situation is, I'll be sure to get that information out. Let's now take a drive over here because we did have a crash that has cleared. Need to get this off our map all along 35 northbound, but check out those southbound lanes. A lot of people are already making their way into the Alamo City, likely from Schertz or New Braunfels, so expect a little bit of a delay over here. And we still have a slowdown along I-10. Yeah, over here out toward Guadalupe County. You can see really around here are the eastbound lanes. Traffic's moving pretty slow at 8 miles per hour, but the westbound lanes around Santa Clara, 12 miles per hour, not very fast at all. Lots of road work taking place out there, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Quick jump over here. We do have another crash reported at 410 northbound at 35. Overall, our morning commute has been very busy. Mike, I'm not sure exactly what led to these crashes. I don't think any wet roads out there, but still, drivers need to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, most everything dried up overnight after some of the rain that we had yesterday, and with some of those showers yesterday, of course, produced a beautiful, well, double rainbow in this case. And this almost doesn't look like a real picture. So vivid out there, that great windmill right there in the middle, and you can almost see each end of the rainbow, and I don't see any pot of gold, but beautiful picture. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect shot. And yesterday's rain, we did get, some folks got some decent rain amounts, some just a little bit. We'll take anything, of course. Some of the yellow areas, about just in southwestern Gonzales County, almost 2 inches of rain. Same thing there in Wilson County. And then just to the north of Kennedy, about an inch, and almost an inch of rain just to the north of Devine. Then move in a little bit closer on the northwest side of town. 3/4 of an inch of rain, a little bit more than that down there on the southwest side. Elmendorf, a little bit more than an inch of rain, and over here around Seguin, about 1.5 inches of rain. So yeah, great to see. That's going to be the situation again today, where there are going to be just a couple of showers, thunderstorms popping up then later on this afternoon. Most of us aren't going to be seeing anything. Gorgeous sunrise out there. A couple of high wispy clouds, but boy, it's a beautiful picture. Now, we are starting to see fog thicken up, especially off here to the east around Gonzales. And Pleasanton, you're seeing just a hint more fog as of right now. Mid-60s on average. Well below, we're 5 below normal right now, so we'll take this anytime. And the humidity, even though these numbers are close to the actual air temperatures, the dew points, this is not bad at all, especially this time of year. I mean, we've got dew points that are at 60 and 59 in Bandera, so it is comfortable out there in parts of the hill country. We are going to warm up quickly this morning, getting up into the mid-upper 70s by mid to late morning, and then 84 at noon. And we'll start to see the chance for a couple of showers move in then later on this afternoon. 30% chance, 88 high temperature. A couple of decent downpours, good light show, maybe a little bit of small hail can be expected or is possible, I should say, with some of these showers and storms that do pop up later on this afternoon. They'll just be few and far between. here and there. And again, most of us aren't going to be seeing anything later on this afternoon. After today, rain chances are just about nil. I've got that kind of 10% chance in here. There's a couple of opportunities for little disturbances to move on in here, but wouldn't get your hopes up for a whole lot of rain after today. Temperatures will slowly start to creep upward, and we're going to finish up the week at 95 degrees on Friday and stay in the mid-90s through the weekend into next week. And there are some indications that it's going to be getting even hotter than that going into the middle of next week.
Okay, I guess we'll be prepared for that heat.
Bearer of bad news here, so unless you like the heat. So.
That's true. Thank you, Mike.
6:50, 66 degrees.
Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to hear it often. Timing is everything, but it turns out there is actual science behind good timing.
In the morning, when you first get up.
Yeah, 6 o'clock to about 10, between that time.
For me, the best time to work out is in the evening.
We will share what scientists have to say about the best time of day to exercise, eat, make important decisions, and study. That's tomorrow on GMSA.
But first, outside with LiveCam, we are studying this sunrise. It is up. You see the rays right over the airport out there off 410. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we've got the latest on that breaking news. A major dam destroyed near the front lines of Ukraine. Ukraine accusing Russian forces of causing the explosion. Officials now warning of, quote, an ecological disaster. We're going to tell you what we know right now. And a broadcast exclusive with the Navy SEAL commander in charge when Kyle Mullen died during Hell Week training. We're going to have those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
One bullet, but two victims. That's how police are describing the details of an overnight shooting. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber at Public Safety Headquarters. Detectives here still looking for that shooter. The police found the two victims overnight at an apartment complex on Westward Drive, not far from Highway 90 and West Military. Police say those two men who were in their 30s and 40s told them they were walking to a building there to check on a friend shortly after midnight. They say another man came out of an apartment, asked what they were doing, then fired a single shot. And according to officers at the scene, that one bullet hit one victim, went through his leg, then hit the second victim, also in his leg. Both were taken to a hospital by ambulance and are expected to be okay. The shooter ran off, and although police searched, they did not find that man. Reporting from Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And another look here at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. We still have that major crash reported, folks, out on the northwest side, so be on the lookout. I-10 eastbound, flashing lights, never a good sign, but you see that we have a lot more folks out there. You have to be careful. This crash has been active since 5 this morning. We've been tracking it all morning long, and you can see not catching a big slowdown there along the eastbound lanes of I-10, but we have to keep a very close eye on that as the morning commute does get rolling. Quick look over here at I-10 over near Guadalupe County. We have a pretty big slowdown along I-10 westbound. Traffic moving at 7 miles per hour. Mike, it's been a very busy morning on the roadways, but we'll be tracking it all throughout Good Morning America.
All right, and lots of sunshine out there. Grab your sunglasses. We do have a little bit of fog down there around Stinson, now 5 miles, mile and a half over in Gonzales, so watch it in the next hour or two. 67 here in town. Pleasant temperatures this morning, 88 high temperature. We are going to have a couple of scattered showers, thunderstorms, just few and far between here and there. And then as we go into the rest of the week and the weekend, it is going to be heating up, mid-90s this weekend.
It'll feel like June this weekend.
Yes, and then some.
And then some. All right. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Yes.
I'm back at 9, but vacation commences tomorrow.
That's right. We'll see him at 9, though. Be back at 9.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.